All right. Looks like we're going live here. Give it a second. This is Comics and Coffee. Comics and Coffee, our first 9 a.m. stream. Let's see how it goes. I'm live here on all the VeeFriends channels, also on TikTok Live. So whatever channel you'd like to see us on, I'm going to be drawing comics for the next 90 minutes live. I've got some stuff to ink here. I got to get rid of this comic. I don't want you to see that. Actually, don't want you to see the words to that yet. So, all right, we'll go back. I'll be working on a few comics here today. Inking. I got a couple different views here going on. So, kind of doing some testing over on this side. On TikTok Live, you can see my hands. So, a lot of people on the YouTube and other channels wanted to see my hands too. So now I've got a split view, and there's a little tiny me there because some people want to see me talking, I guess. So, hey, Ryan over on X, how's it going? Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. We've got the Valentine's Day. I don't know if this one's out yet or not, but a couple Valentine's Day cards that I made. And I'm really, really happy with this juicy Jaguar here. So it's good. Did I tell the team? Okay, let's see here. All right. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that juicy Jaguar action. I matched her up with Cynical Cat. Got the Garyvee, Be My Honey, and Gracious Grizzly threw in there because, bears and honey. Just try to find a good pairing out of this world, of course. First time with the adaptable alien in the comic and adventurous astronaut. And, of course, our favorite burglar at the end. Can I steal your heart? Because he steals all of our heart. So, enough of that. I've got some comics to ink. So we're going to get right into that. I'm going to ink up this next comic and talk a little bit about this. And then maybe I'll just jump because this one's not a whole lot of inking to do. It's a very simple. A lot of the comics have been getting pretty detailed. So today's a very simple concept. This specific comic strip is Otter and Cynical Cat, which Gary kind of wanted to appear at least once a week. Hey, thanks for joining the stream, guys. See Lord Victor's here. Daily Damien. It's really nice to have so many people from like Twitch, YouTube, X, Becker Sports Network. Hello from Twitch. Greater Natty's over on YouTube. Who do we got over on? You know what I'm missing here? I'm missing my TikTok chat. Let me put that up real quick on my other screen here. Then I'll stop yapping and get to ink it. Sweet. Okay, awesome. All right, now I can see everybody's comments at some point here. TikTok's the only outlier in this system. So, hey, Corso's in the chat. TikTok. Victor, you're on both. Are you on both spaces right now? All right, cool. Anyways, kind of a dynamic setup going on the other channels. If you're on TikTok Live, you can only see my hands, which is fine. But on the others, I just have like an iPad view and the hands view. So you're going to get a double inception today. We're going to try it out, see how it goes. If you like this format, let me know in the chat. If you're new to VeeFriends, welcome. VeeFriends.com. Go to VeeFriends. Follow us. Over 280 characters with different traits. Boy, I haven't even, I got to shake it out. I haven't even drawn anything this morning. So these lines are going to be a little bit, I'm always worried that my lines are going to be kind of shaky in the morning. Plus coffee, So if you're new to VeeFriends, over 280 characters, different traits. This one here that I'm inking right now is optimistic otter. Your good friend that's always like a positive cheer, one that you kind of want to be around, even though sometimes, you know, they're like, oh man, can you stop with the constant positivity? But then you really want it anyways, right? That's kind of the optimistic otter. Cynical cat. I mean, it's like his best friend. It's really funny pairing there. In my, we haven't really developed the story all too much, but in my mind, they're kind of like roommates. Maybe Cynical Cat was like a reluctant roommate. They balance each other off a little bit. Although I don't know what Optimistic Otter can learn from Cynical Cat, but people watching today, this is a good time, it seems like. Hope you have a good day. I'm starting my day with some coffee and comics like I always do. And since there's a lot of you here, drop in the chat who your favorite V friend is and why. I always like to hear that. If you've done it before, Victor and a couple others have already done it. But I mean, you can always share it with the new folks what your favorite V friend is and why you connect with that character. Let's get this live to 10K likes, guys. All right, I'm all for it. Let's go. So you guys can cheer on the chat, share it up. I was also just thinking, like, it's nice to go live at noon, and we're going to be still doing that time too. But talking to my wife, and we're like, isn't it would be kind of nice to be if that's how people could start their day. A lot of people are going to work or starting work, or maybe you're work from home and you're goofing off. Here we go. This is a good stream. People were like, we like listening to you talk, which is still strange for me to hear personally, but I appreciate it. It wasn't something I was expecting. And I'm having a lot of fun working on the comics behind the scenes with everybody. Got a lot of exciting things going on that we can't talk about. That's as far as I can say. But there's a lot of moving pieces behind the scenes that you'll see. It's very exciting. It's an exciting time for VeeFriends, I think. And talked a little bit about, we're still doing like a lot of character development frameworks, things like that, really behind the scenes. There's a lot of stuff that's already been done that people haven't seen, but we're really getting into some, like, it just feels like you get at least for me, I get a really good energy in the morning, you know, waking up and working on these characters. Look at this, like Corso's everywhere. Corso's on Twitch, Corso's on TikTok, Corso's in all the chats. He's omnipresent. Unless it's like a fake Corso. Someone's an imposter Corso in there. Let's not have that. Yeah, so anyways, it's just very exciting to wake up every day and work on this project and really feel like a part of the team, and I am a part of the team, and it's a good team too. Shout out to the animators that we've got internally. They're going to be doing some like cool little animations based on the comics, and we're working out how to do that. I was always everybody always asks me, "Did you ever do animation?" And I'm like, I'm too impatient for animation. I want to get right to it. But I really admire people that can make a move. I was telling the animators and the other artists, Ali and Chris, yesterday. I was like, man, sometimes with the comics, I wish I had that extra beat, But that's the beauty of a four-panel comic to me is that, like I was telling our new friend Philip, who just joined the team, I was telling him that the four-panel thing, I'm just so used to thinking and seeing in that way. a classic comic strip that it's a challenge, but it's also like a really fun challenge. Like, how can we boil down an idea into 4 panels? It helps you with your storytelling too. If you're a creator out there on YouTube or whatever you're doing out there in creator economy land, learning how to get your point across small in a short sentence or headline or topic headline. And that's the whole game on YouTube too. If you think about it, everybody's just doing the same things that storytellers have always done. Like, how do you make people stop and get attention for whatever you're saying out in the void? And how do you build true fans? That's kind of that's the game. So like these little quick hits every day, you get a daily comic strip, and it's tempting to want like 12 panels or 25 panels or something like that, 80-page graphic novel. But those are just different products. Those are come too at some point. But the daily is here for you every day. On good days, on bad days, you're going to have a little taste of some new V friend. And if you're new to V friends, like I said, drop your favorite V friend in the or if you're new to V friends, go to vfriends.com. Check that out. There's over 280 characters. We've got a trading card game, collectibles. I mean, I'm not saying you could make money with this or anything like that, but if you go to eBay and type V friends, it's incredible the amount of collectibles already that there are for this, and for such a young brand. It's really awesome community of fans and human beings helping each other, supporting each other. That's the vibe. That's the vibe we bring. I get really energized in the morning where I'm like, it's like I wake up at 5 and do some other things, you know, and I'm always like, I should just go live every day. Let's just turn the camera on and go. But realistically, I don't. We'll see. I feel like the equipment's here. I'm here, fueled up with my coffee, comics, folks hanging out. Forgot that I went live on LinkedIn too. So hello, Brian from LinkedIn. We're just trying to be everywhere all at once. Wherever you're hanging out, there's a V friend popping up in your feed right now. And if you're digging the comics and V friends in general, but specifically the comics because I'm here right now, really, we're talking about comics right now. If you're digging the comics and digging V friends, the best thing that I think you can do to support is to share it. Share it with you. If you see a cute comic that makes you think, we got a couple good ones there, and just share it. Hit the share button. Say a little something about something. Maybe send it to a friend. Little DM action. Send them a little like, hey, this comic made me think of you. Or I thought you might need to see this today. That's kind of something to keep in mind if you want to be a member of the team virtually. That's what I really need help with because I'm busy drawing the comics. So you can see a little snip of what he's saying here. This is for you. By the way, I'm so meticulous behind the scenes. I had to wait to draw this flower until I had the flowers grown in the gratitude garden strip. Isn't that something? I'm a weirdo. I'm like, well, I can't draw the heart flowers yet because they have not been grown yet. I like the Easter egg, like the little Easter eggs like that. They're real subtle. A lot of thought that goes into this. We're in the 9 a.m. hour on the East Coast, 16 minutes in. First panel pretty much inked, like this is a simple one. The next one that I'll probably be rolling right into is a little more detailed, a little more uh, tree and reflective rhinos in there. So I'll be getting to that in a minute too. I think I'll be able to dive into that. It's Valentine's Day, so I gotta make a trip and pick up some things. I really failed at Valentine's Day last year, I must say. Tried my best, but my best wasn't good enough. I sucked. You're gonna have those years. Where you're just like trying your best. Last year, Valentine's Day, I was actually going to a job interview. I had quit my 10-year job at the t-shirt company. I was taking a kind of checking out what was out there, and I went to go have an interview with the new job that I would get, and it was on Valentine's Day at Spark in Pittsburgh. Shout out to Spark. I was the director of strategy there for a minute, almost a year, before getting this job. But anyways, I went to the job interview, and I'm like, okay, on the way home, I'm gonna pick up some nice flowers, and I'll pick up my wife's favorite Italian food. And I thought I was gonna, in my mind, I was like, I'm a hero. And then it's foolish. Wait until the last minute to get flowers on Valentine's Day. Uh, so I'm like scrambling around, like all the places were just like, and I'm like, oh no, these flowers suck. And then I was like, okay, these ones look pretty good. And then by the time I got the food home, it was kind of cold. And I'm like, this is just, what did I do? Didn't think this out. Sure will be better. Hey, thanks, Becker Sports. I see your comment about the Valentine's Day cards. Hi, Carly on Facebook, Brian over on Instagram. Again, Mr. McFly over on Twitch. Mr. McFly 1000. I like your handle there. And yeah, trying is the first step. And I not even put the effort in. I really did feel like I failed last Valentine's Day. My wife yesterday was like, Do you have an actual plan? Because if you don't have a plan, then don't, basically don't worry. I'm like, no, got a plan this year. So we'll get there. We just spent some time up in New York over a weekend. Kind of saw when we just decided to we just like unplanned adventures, walking around, doing a little shopping. We love New York, so it's nice to get up there and um, went and saw Jerry Seinfeld on a whim, which I never thought I'd do, but we like to just do that. Like we're like, oh yeah, Seinfeld's in town. Like these tickets are pretty, man, you know. But we like to invest in experiences now. I think That was a fun show. A good guy, funny, classic type of funny. And seeing that I'm partially back in the comedy space, I guess, like the studying comedy and stuff. It's fun. I like stand-up comedy and the art of that, the art of joke writing. Always been a fan of that. Looking at the chats here over on TikTok. What's your favorite character to draw? Robert Wright asked on TikTok. The cop out I always give is the character I'm currently drawing, but no, I like to draw um, Alert Ape. He's a fun one to draw. I don't really know why. Maybe because he's a monkey. I don't like this, but the shape of his design, I just like it. Who else? Who else? Brave Bison's fun to draw as well. So, got more of him coming up. There's a lot. It's quite a bit. They're all fun to draw in some way. Um, I didn't get to draw really big, but I really like to draw Balanced Beetle. That's a fun one. It's just so simple and subtle. So we get a lot of messages. I see someone saying contact for to get a job. I'm not really the job keeper, so I can't really give you a job. But if you want to be a part of the team, of the VeeFriends team, and you want to help, the best thing you could do is share the comics and be known. Like, like we know your names. We know who you are when you're out there hustling, helping, and promoting the values of VeeFriends. I think that's my advice to people. Just be chill and really like and love the concept of VeeFriends. I think so. Yeah, Corso said be a part of the community. I never expected to work for VeeFriends as a cartoonist. I just never it was never in my thoughts ever. You know, I went to VCon in May. Told the story a couple times, but tell it again for people listening. How I got involved, how I got the job was I'm real passionate about comics. So I know what my passion is. I'm passionate about illustrating and innovating comics. We're doing here live. And my wife had a ticket to VCon, asked if I wanted to go, and I'm like, yeah, I like Gary Vaynerchuk. The speakers look wild, like pretty awesome. I was like, this is crazy. And the thing that I really loved about VCon, and it was like a snapshot of my future, was the energy and good vibe of everybody. Like I got invited to some parties, like get-togethers and stuff, and no one knew who I was. I was a stranger. And they say in the one of the community mantras, is sort of like strangers become friends, friends become, or I don't know, strangers become acquaintances, acquaintances become friends, and friends become family, right? And you really feel that. Like, one of the first guys I met was Danger Dave in the community. He was putting on a brunch, and I got invited to this brunch, and I was like, I don't even belong here. Like, what am I doing? But everybody was just so chill and cool. And that was May of last year. And I didn't think like I want to work for this company. I was just like, oh, that was really good. Like I felt energized coming out of that show. And that was step one for me, was just that, leaving with that feeling. And then moving into VidCon, or not VidCon, Vid Summit, too many V's, Vid Summit with all my friends in YouTube, Daniel Batal and Roberto Blake, and I was just building my channel on the side and talking about art and really kind of leaning into wanting to talk about comics more and the future of comics, but I was afraid people wouldn't care what I had to say or like maybe I was outdated or something. But they encouraged me, and I thought of the energy from VCon and then the energy from my YouTube friends saying like really lean into the stuff that you're passionate about. And I'm like, well, I'm passionate about comic strips, and no one else is. Like maybe a few people, right? And I told my wife, I'm like, I gotta say, I'm really passionate about. I'm not gonna go launch a daily comic strip or anything. I'm gonna keep my day job, and um, but I said I really want to make content about this. And I don't know if anyone's gonna care, but I'm gonna do it. So I was starting to make plans to make some content about more daily comic strip stuff and just how to do it when you have a day job, how to all that stuff. Like I got a whole bucket of content ideas for that my channel. And it was all based on, inspiration from all these guys. Gary, the VeeFriends crew, my YouTube friends, leaning into what I'm good at. I'm pretty good at marketing and strategy stuff. That's what my day job was. But my passion was this. It's what I'm best at, you know. And so the reason I'm saying this, Brian, um, if you're still listening, is whatever it is, what do you do? Like what is it that you're good at? What is it that you're passionate about? Find a company. It might not be friends, but find something that aligns with that passion. But yeah, so I came back from VCon, or nope, came back from Vid Summit, and I was sick. I had gotten the bad cold, the really bad cold, and I was up and I couldn't sleep. And I'm like, man, I couldn't stop thinking about everything I just this year was that year was crazy. Like everything I just learned at Vid Summit from my friends and feeling energized about comics. And then I open up Twitter and there's a tweet from Gary Vaynerchuk that said, "Hey, I'm hiring a full-time comic strip writer artist." And I was immediately like, I could do that. Oh my God. Like the universe is conspiring now to make this happen. Like I'm gonna give it a shot. I didn't know anything about VeeFriends except for what I experienced at VCon, which was enough, I think. And I just had fun with my imagination and said, you know what? I'm gonna do the thing that I said I was gonna do, and I'm gonna live stream more, and I'm just gonna start with this thing. And whether it goes or not, I don't care because I'm just gonna show artists that this is the future, what we're doing right now. Community, being able to be live as possible when you can. And I think the story goes that Jeremy Knows saw the thing, sent it to Andy. Andy saw the stream. Andy's the president of VeeFriends. Andy popped into the stream and said, "Hey, DJ," and let's talk. And he emailed me, and away we went. Before I knew it, I was on the horn with Gary, and we were vibing there. And he's like, "You're the guy for this. Let's go. When can you start?" And that's how I became hired here. It wasn't me reaching out to anybody saying like, "Hey, man, contact me so that I can help you." You have to bring some sort of value to what you're doing. So, but yeah, I get a lot of. I appreciate. I'm not slamming anybody or anything like that. I really appreciate people wanting to better their careers and lives and stuff. So hang in there, you know. Just take it one day at a time. Stay optimistic like this optimistic otter. Be an optimistic otter. Don't be a cynical cat. I like the expression on cynical cat's face here. He looks like he's LinkedIn user. Now it says LinkedIn user. I'm not sure which LinkedIn user that is, but it says, "My son is so passionate about art. He's in 2D animation and storyboarding at SCAD." That's a great school. Animation. Yep. Jump over here real quick to the other. Hey, thanks for joining and starting your day. I know everybody can't watch the entire stream. I'll be live for another hour, but hopefully it kind of gives you good vibes for the day. You know, whatever you're whatever you're tackling today. There's some busy parents, people starting their meetings and their day jobs, and just be kind. And it's Valentine's Day, so spread some love around. Maybe have some candy or something. Treat yourself if you're a single person. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you're pining for your to find true love, well, I'm gonna give you some sage advice and just say like it usually shows up when you're not looking for it. So stop looking for it and just go live life. Had a nice story from AI on Twitter about the love stories. He met his wife at a Christmas dance, total strangers, and they were dancing at a Christmas event. And I guess they held hands at the event. He said, "I never let go." I was like, "Oh, that's so nice." And now they have two kids, and I thought that was. I met my wife at roller derby, but I won't talk about my relationship too much. But I just thought that's an interesting. People are like, "That's interesting. How did you meet your wife?" I'm like, "Roller derby." She was a derby girl. Murder Monroe was her derby name. You know, with a name like that, I had to fall in love with. Hopefully, she's not listening right now. She really don't talk about me. That's a nice looking otter. Oh, Joe Animal. Okay, cool. On my chat, it says LinkedIn user. So, yeah, thanks for watching, hanging out. Bizarre Joe over on TikTok says, "Do I start with thumbnails?" Yeah. So let me just see what I started here. It might be a little rough. But yeah, they'll start like something like that. It's a little. You can see on TikTok pretty well. I just kind of get the pose down. This one was a more simple one. Curious now to see. Got a time to take just a little quick break. Should go through another one of the comics. Let's go back to like a bigger comic like this one was the secret origin of the Considerate Cowboy. The Sunday strips are a little bit bigger. But let's just go ahead and turn off colors, everything. Strip it down to even this one I pretty much started pretty rough. I don't know if I probably deleted the rough on this one. Never mind this. Turn these back on. Ah, Jared, if you're love scrolling through my feed and finding this is awesome behind the scenes view. Jared, if you're new to VeeFriends, are you new to VeeFriends? Then check out VeeFriends.com or hang out here. Follow VeeFriends. We have a daily comic strip. We've got a trading card game, over 280 characters you can vibe with. I'm just looking through to see if I can find one that had more of a rough to it. This one did, I know. Like I did like a really rough, sketchy sketch of like this is going to be the fox. This is where the hedgehog is going to go. And that's kind of the gestures of running away. Just kind of really going fast. That's how you capture the energy, and then fading that out underneath and kind of getting a little more tighter with the pencils, right? Oops. So you can see going from sketch to that to inks. Then we just build up the inks, put in the colors, and then the backgrounds. For just about every strip is the same way. ZenGen9, thanks for joining chat. Oh, okay, cool. Jared knows what's up with competitive clown sweatshirt. Gotta give me some of those squishmallows too. I think there's a humble hedgehog squishmallow I gotta get. Yeah, Eileen, humble hedgehog's fun to draw. Someone asked earlier which one was my one to draw. I like humble hedgehog. He's kind of become my favorite, one of my favorites to draw as well. Also, I just kind of like the character. I like the humble. Like, what's the opposite of humble, right? Like braggadocious or something. Or why is he humble? What is he humble about? Like, I like thinking about the characters like that. I probably spend a lot of, I mean, spend a lot of time thinking about the characters and spending time with them. And I think to myself, like, maybe the hedgehog's like this crazy genius that invents stuff like machines and technology and just doesn't tell anybody, you know, like secretly independently wealthy, but yet they're really good at that, but they're just not, maybe they don't have self confidence. So they're a little bit more like reserved, like a William Buffett type. He always seems kind of like down to earth and, you know. So what secrets are Hedgehog hiding? What, why is he so humble? I might have just answered that, which character I vibe with the most. I don't know. I like to draw Alert 8, like I said. Uh, I don't like cynicism, but I like to draw Cynical Cat for different reasons because I feel like every good cartoon strip needs a cat or a dog. You know, we've got a million characters now, but if we're going to make like a classic cartoon strip, then we need our Snoopy or our Garfield and our foil as well. So I think Cynical Cat's kind of like the, you know, like he's secretly happy, I think, in this. Like that otter thought about him and gave him his flower. But he's gotta make it, you know, he doesn't want you to know that. He has to keep up the air of, "You murdered this flower." He can't just take the compliment. Yeah, but from a story perspective, it's so I get pretty deep. Not that any of the ideas are, like, canon or anything like that yet, but we get pretty deep. Gary has so many deep thoughts on the characters. There's hours and hours of videos and audio that you guys will never hear right now, maybe sometime. Lo-fi just got really loud. Come on, like, chill out, lo-fi. Really wanted me to hear that one. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of talking about the concepts of the characters and stuff like that, and like the attributes and the traits and what balances off of what. And, like it's a lot. There's a lot there. There's a lot to capture. You got to pay attention. You can't just zone out because he's fast. He's like this, and you're like, holy cow! All right, let's go. Like it's kind of the I like it. Gary said something the other day where he's like, people don't realize, but I'm on a plane sometimes, or I'm traveling, and I'm like, I sit and I think about the characters for like a couple hours. You know, he really debates things in his own mind about maybe this, maybe that, and I'm like, oh, I totally get that because I'm sitting here for 6 hours or something drawing a strip and just thinking about Cynical Cat and thinking about it's like an added bonus to sit and dwell on the character, like who their best friends are and stuff like that. So there's a lot to yeah, the lo-fi went hi-fi. And now it went low again. It's like a trick. It's a trick. Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I told Gary, I told the stream that the the feeling for me, and I've drawn a lot of different things. I've drawn stuff for Marvel and Walking Dead, and I've drawn a lot of different Star Wars, a lot of different universes and things. And for me, it feels like a friend in the neighborhood that has the cool toys, and they're letting you come over and play with their toys. That's kind of what he trusts me with these toys, and I take it very seriously. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave this one with the inks, and I'm gonna start inking the next one. This is a good, totally different vibe here. Strip, kind of more of a thoughtful instead of wacky. Cider Dog over on Twitch. How are you? What do you think? Do you think the morning streams are a better time than the afternoon streams? I'm curious from the people watching right now. See, there's like probably 15 on across the other channels live, and we got 7 or 8 coming in and out on TikTok. Seems like there's more going on. So I know this is like, morning time East Coast, noontime for my European friends. I'm just going to draw the tree first. All right. I'm kind of inspired because of all the cool backgrounds and the cards and the NFTs. I love the background art that was done for the world. And there's a lot of like smiling mountains and just very subtle things. So I had this idea for, like, a listening tree on this one. This will be Friday's strip. Still a little bit. My goal is to get ahead, but anyways, we'll talk about that. We're getting gonna get ahead slowly. I'd like to be a week or 2 ahead on the strips. We'll get there. Plan. This is the first time I've drawn reflective rhino. It was kind of a challenging one because of the horns kind of get in the way. If you look at the different ways he's been drawn, it's kind of, I know the other artist must have had a challenge with that too. I try to figure out a way to make it so that I could also add expression to the character, like big eyes, hysterical laughter, kind of stretch them. If that makes sense. Oh, Jared, thanks. Nice cozy morning stream. It's kind of the idea. Yeah, Satterdog. I'm not sure who it would be. Probably Gary's team that would run the streams. I think he could probably do that. Depends on like I don't know. We're gonna talk internally about schedule on that, but that makes sense. If he would do that, that'd be awesome. Over on Twitch, I've put on his office streams a couple times. He's just kind of neat to see behind the scenes for a minute, you know. But yeah, and in the mornings we seem less busy with the fanatic stuff. Usually happens in the evenings whenever we want to talk more about these concepts of the characters and things during the day. And then, of course, Gary could fly in here at any moment, you know, break the stream. Not today, though. He's busy. But I'm down. Like, I'm ready to create live anytime. Let's do it. It'd be so much easier to put leaves all over this tree, but it's still wintertime. So like I said, I'm pretty meticulous in my thoughts on maybe we'll see the thinking tree or the listening tree, not thinking tree. Maybe we'll see the listening tree in springtime, maybe all seasons. Is it one of those trees that grows the heart shaped flowers or the heart shaped leaves? Yeah, I'm a big fan of those backgrounds, and hats off to those artists that worked on that because really good stuff. Looks like whoever did it had a lot of fun too. You know, we have only scratched the surface of the world building. It feels like we're gonna get. Oh boy, can't even. I gotta shut up now. I gotta shut up. There's a lot of stuff happening. World building wise behind the scenes. Just gotta be patient. Gotta be a patient panda. You know, Gary Tree. Yep. Yeah, Gary's got my we got, like I got, like, the bat phone, right? Like, so if Gary messages at any moment, says like, "Hey, I wanna jump on, let's go." Be like, "Alright, let's do it." Yeah, okay. It's been exciting times, though, I must say, behind the scenes. Just some things developing naturally, organically, that just, like, always needed to like, it just felt like, "Oh, this always made sense," and now it finally has manifested, you know? Gary's excited about some stuff, and I'm sure he'll be talking about it soon. He's got so many things going on. The children's book is coming out. It's still in pre-order. Meet Me in the Middle, and, that's such a cool idea. The book flips and that. I like being innovative, like, that's you know, we're doing a classic comic strip style here, but we're also thinking about here we are doing live streams of the work all the time and different ways that the community can take part. The best way that you can support me and VeeFriends right now would be share the comics every day or send them to friends that you're like, "This made me think of you," that kind of thing. Can't say no to Gary. No, he's the boss. So, J Bob's like, "No, keep talking." No, I'm sure I wouldn't get in trouble, but I can't talk about something. And just like the listening tree, all the secrets are safe with me. So, but it's exciting. Can't wait. So many things. Just in the comics realm too. We got so many ideas going on. It's gonna be great. Just getting cooking. If you really think about it, we've just started the daily on January 2nd or something like that. So this comic just started technically in January. Technically, a little bit earlier than that if you count the initial streams, but that looks pretty fun. Rhino just sees this little kid walking home from school, looking a little bummed out. I like to observe, down at the bus stop in the morning. Kids are at the bus stop these days. It's my job as a cartoonist too, is just to observe like what are kids wearing. Many kids have like their headphones. They're not just earbuds anymore. They're like headphones around their neck constantly. My school would have taken those off of me. So this kid seems maybe a little bit bummed out. How much time per day would I say I spend drawing comics or coming up with ideas? Oh, probably more than a full work day, 8 hours, 10 hours a day. But it never stops. So the ideas stream can be, luckily for me, the idea stream is on all the time. So if I pop out of the shower or if I'm walking the dog and I come up with an idea, I throw it in this note file. The comics themselves take today's comic, the Valentine's Day strip, took me 6 hours on screen time, and probably not a whole lot of off screen time because it was pretty straightforward what I was doing there with the Valentine's Day cards. I think the most time that it took me was when it's a strip where I haven't drawn the characters yet, like Juicy Jaguar. I never drew her yet. It takes a little bit longer. But if I know the character and I can draw them without looking at reference or figuring them out, about 4 or 5 hours a strip. So I can check that by going into this app. Statistics on this one so far, 2 hours, 17 minutes. So that's just for the pencils, the writing, and now the inking. And I hadn't drawn um, the rhino before, so I started this one out by. Oh, you know what'd be neat to do? Just show you real quick. It's kind of fun. Video time lapse replay. We can start right from the beginning, and you can see like I started with figuring out the body shape of the rhino. That's kind of fun to look at, and figuring out like poses and whatnot. And also figuring out those horns, like I said, that was kind of tricky because you don't want them to be too much in the way. And then, yeah, then I started working on the layout, but I don't want to give away all the text on this one yet. But yeah, it's a full time job, so it's, it's not like a job for me. It's not like a job where it's like, well, not 6 o'clock, time to turn it off. If I'm still feeling it, I do have a life outside of working, but it's my vocation really. It's like my craft. So every line that I'm able to draw, I kind of see as a. I should probably put these on there later now that I'm thinking about it. Cut and paste. These balloons on there later. I'm gonna try and start separating things a little bit better for the animators. Make their lives a little bit easier. Okay, now we're yeah. Zen said another idea is we could raid from Gary's normal Twitch to be friends if the timing works out. Well, yeah, that might be fun to do. We'll talk to Gary about it a little bit. Talk to May and Andy. Figure it out. I think they're most concerned. If I said that I wanted to be live all the time, I'm sure they'd be like, "Okay, let's do it. Let's figure that out." But I think their most concern is they don't want me to burn out, so, which is nice. But my debate internally is, well, I'm already here doing it. Now, sometimes I'm not at this desk. Like it is nice to be like over on the couch or something like that. The dog likes that. Sounds like the dog factor. If I was at this desk for 5 hours, she probably wouldn't like that too much. I got to take her for walks. So I got to figure that. If I was just a single person, I'd be like, all right, time to turn on the camera and go. Gotta have a life too outside of doing this. But I can be live for a couple hours for sure without missing a beat. We'll get there. I'm still kind of I'm feeling pretty good about the technology, the setup that I have. Over on TikTok, you can just see just my hands. Now, over on the other channels, I've got the 2 split sides, so you can see my hands and the iPad and the little tiny me there. Wes Martin, I love hearing that. Watching this gives me serious Bob Ross vibes. I'm gonna show that. I appreciate that for multiple reasons, but one of the most reasons was when I did my other there is a lo-fi playing right now, but it's over on the other screen, so it might be a little low to hear. Or we can switch it up. Let's try this. Let's try I'm gonna try stopping that, and I'm gonna put on this down tempo. Let's try it. You just won't be able to hear it as much on. Is this what you're talking about, Wes? So I'm using, I think I'm pretty much using the same system. But yeah, the Bob Ross thing, I've heard that. Someone was like, "You're like a punk rock Bob Ross," and I'm like, "That's the biggest compliment I've ever received in my life. Thank you." That's what my Halloween costume was, punk rock Bob Ross or bad Bob Ross is what badass Bob Ross. At my old office for day job work, I ran the team at North America for Spread Shop, print on demand, for YouTubers and all that stuff. Um, Up in the corner, we had this old TV that used to be for the marketing department to like put sales numbers up on. And when that team had gotten moved out of that office, they left these old screens up there and they're like, it's connected to the internet, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to loop Kung Fu movies and Bob Ross all day up on those screens. And that's what we did. So we had Bob Ross like quietly painting all day. It was nice because like you'd be in the middle of like some, not stressful things, but work things. And you could just get a coffee and zone out for a minute, watch him paint, even quietly. And it would make you be like, you know what? I'm not worried about next quarter's figures. Got to peep today. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so TikTok probably can't hear the looking through the chat here. It's distracted. Good. All right, cool. Yeah, our schedule will kind of shift around. I saw some people ask about DMing me like what the schedule was. We're gonna put out a graphic regularly too. We do it now, but I'll try to make it more visible um, for like when we'll be live for the comments and stuff. So, but see if this morning spot is a good spot. Makes it just easy too for the team. I'm not going to interrupt the other stuff that we have going on with the cards and the Fanatics Live and that. I don't want to rush and I don't want to overlap or be in the way. I'll be here for a long time. Lurking. Lurk is life. Why did I start oh boy, I messed up here. I started inking on the wrong layer down here, but that's okay. I can do this, cut and paste, move this back down to dark layer, pinch that as much as possible. What we got going on over on? We got 4K likes over on the TikTok stream. So keep throwing those likes down. That'd be awesome. We get there. Come on, there's 7 people in the TikTok stream. You can get push the button 5,000 times. share the stream out. Appreciate everybody sharing. Again, if you're popping in and out, because a lot of people do that over on TikTok. If you're new to VeeFriends and you're lurking, well then welcome. VeeFriends.com or at VeeFriends on any socials. Gary Vaynerchuk created over 280 characters and traits. I'm right now inking Reflective Rhinoceros, drawing him for the first time in the strip. This will be Friday's comic strip. We have a daily comic strip that comes out Monday through Sunday. And then this is just part of the VeeFriends world. There's also the trading card game, the collectibles, and even better than all of that is the community of awesome people inside of VeeFriends world. You'll meet them in the chat. The chats. Any place you go and search VeeFriends, you're going to find awesome people. That's just like a rule. Kind of inked them out of order. See the hearts flying. Just gonna sit there. It's probably you, Bizarre Joe. You're just like, love, 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 love. Appreciate that. You shared the live too. That's awesome. Thank you. Joe Pennington just joined, then left. My son just popped into the chat on TikTok. Dylan's Leather Co. Dylan, shout out to Dylan. He's probably working, so he's probably just listening. I really don't understand the connection with Fanatics. Well, Fanatics, I'll just tell you because I think I know enough. Fanatics Live, you know the Fanatics brand. They're collectibles, all that. You know that. But they're building that app up, that live stream, live commerce sort of thing. And it's a lot of collectors on there. It's a cool... it's very similar to, like, to me, this is my opinion, it's very similar to like what's happening to TikTok in China and like in Europe. There's a lot of bidding type sites, you know, live commerce. So it's the first app I've really seen. It's, you know, focused mostly around sports collectibles and stuff, but it's a good system where you can like go in there, live break, if that's what you mean. And Fanatics is a huge brand, so I mean, the connection with, you know, Gary obviously knows a lot of people. It's an epic brand. So matter of fact, we just had the cool hats that came out too with the Super Bowl thing. I don't know. I honestly don't know the other connections that there might be or not. I just think that it is a good big brand and it's a well-known, iconic brand. I think I can remember back whenever we were with, you know, Spread Shop, and we talked to Fanatics back when they were really young about doing like tons of sports related prints for teams. on demand. Oh, the quality wasn't good enough, really, to be honest. Like back then, the quality wasn't on par with, a professional sports team wanting to print through them. Now it's pretty good. Like the quality of the machines are so much better these days, but that was 10 years ago. Screen printing was too expensive, and then you had to stock things. I don't want to go too deep in those weeds. But yeah, I like the functionality of that app, I must say. If I mean, I'm not buying things on it because I'm just not into that, but it's not my jam. But it seems very easy to use, and I watch it too. I like watching the streams on the app. We've got an awesome team. Adam, Connor, and Connect. Court. They do a great job running those streams. Wish sorry the comic stream can't be as like super, high energy and like blasting things, but I'm drawing here. So. We might be doing some giveaways though in the future over on TikTok. I don't know the details on that, but we're talking about that internally. I think on TikTok we're able to do some giveaways. I don't know what the giveaways will be, but we'll let you know. I'm sure we'll let everybody know. Occasionally I'll drop down. I did that offer for Victor. Victor's still watching. Shout out to Victor. Okay, we got Corso in the chat. We got to 5,000 likes over on TikTok. Thanks, everybody. That's awesome. That really does help. That's just how these social platforms work. So the more likes that you're dropping down, it's saying like, oh, there's something going on over here. The people are really digging this stream, and it'll start showing it to more people like you that it knows it knows is like you. As I'm saying, my words are being words. Yeah, algorithms are pretty not complicated. So many creators worry about like, how do I beat the algorithm and beat this and beat that? It's like the algorithms are just your audience, and like it knows similar people to you, and every move that you're making online, which creepy or not, as it sounds, it's like, oh, they like to watch live streams, or maybe it's the specific, oh, you like to watch someone drawing, so then you're going to get some more drawing videos. If you don't watch those videos when they end up in your stream, it's going to quickly figure out faster than a human could think that you like watching VeeFriends streams, not just random people drawing. Although I like to watch a lot of drawing streams sometimes for the same reason, just kind of, it's pretty chill, and I watch other people's techniques as an artist. And, I like the idea of working on things that I wished existed when I was a kid. So I wish I could have watched my favorite cartoonists or my favorite shows or something be produced live and interact with the actors and the stuff. I think that would be super cool. That would have been super rad. Wouldn't it be neat to be on like the set of a movie? Like if there was like a live stream from like the Deadpool set or something like that, and Ryan Reynolds would just pop in occasionally. That stream would just be like people looking for Easter eggs and stuff. It's just fun. One happy hermit crab. So Wes, you're over on the West Coast, I take it. This is a good time to test this, like West Coast versus having the West Coast super early. East Coast is kind of like, people are starting their day too. We're hitting lunchtime over in Europe because I've got some European friends that watch, especially over on LinkedIn. Shout out. California. I used to live down in the Coachella Valley. Lived in Palm Springs and Desert Hot Springs. Shout out to the Desert Rats. My stream of consciousness sometimes when I think about things as I'm drawing, or my great uncle Walter, and he was born in Pennsylvania and then moved to California, and then he kept moving back and forth his entire life. He finally, pretty much resided in Desert Hot Springs because he liked the weather and it was good for his joints and that. But when he died, they shipped him back one last time to be planted back here in Pennsylvania. I'm in just south of Pittsburgh now. Steeler country. Dylan Glover, how did I start working with Gary? I did talk about this earlier in the stream, but I'll try to make a Cliff Notes version. I followed Gary for a long time. I know all about the vibe, and I read all the books and listen to his advice over the years. Stopped listening to him because he said stop listening to him and start doing things. I did that as well. And so I was really leaning into my passion again with comics on my own YouTube channel, my own brand that I run called Draw or Die. I was building that on the side. It helps artists stay encouraged. And then by happenstance, I'm going to cut to the other part of the story. If you want to hear the full detailed story, you can rewind this stream at some point near the very beginning. But October, there was a tweet from Gary saying, I'm hiring a comic strip artist writer with 5 years experience. And I'm like, oh, I could do that. And I just got right to it. I think it was 2:00 in the morning. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I just started sketching up the characters and learning them a little bit, figuring out what would I put in a submission to them, and then I just live streamed it. And I think I don't know what, Gary's been talking. If you read between the lines, if you follow Gary and you watch and read between the lines, he's talking about this year the attention economy, right? And you're on this stream right now watching. He's streaming from his office a lot. Go to where the attention is. And so that's how I got their attention. That's how the VeeFriends team found my stream, found me working on my submission live, and that got me the job interview. Jojo, nighttime there in Thailand. Got another friend in Thailand, Nick Nimmin. You might know Nick Nimmin from YouTube. Nick Nimmin, the Nimminati. He helps people with their YouTube channels. He loves Thailand. It's beautiful there, he says. All right, a couple questions here in the chat. When you're using the Apple Pen, can you rest your hand on the tablet? Yeah. The app itself has palm rejection. So only the pencil and my fingers, the gestures I make with my fingers will affect the tab. Question over on Dylan over on Facebook. What program am I using? This is Procreate on an Apple iPad Pro. I use my own brushes. There's a ton of awesome brushes in Procreate, but you can set them how you'd like them. So I make my own brushes. $6,000 likes over in the TikTok stream. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate that. Joe's out in Idaho. We got Corso in all the chats. Thanks, Corso. It's nice having someone else in the chat to read through and amp the chat. To answer the question about Happy Hermit Crab, I'm sure we'll get to all the characters sooner or later. We got a lot of comics to go, a lot of years to go. Gary says 50 years, so you know, that's what he said. So I'm gonna go with that. I'll be 98 years old by the time I quit this strip. How about that? Seems impossible, right? But yesterday was the anniversary of the last Peanuts strip when it launched in the newspaper, or when it ran in the newspapers. You know, Snoopy, Peanuts, Charlie Brown. Charles Schultz drew that for ages, and unfortunately, you know, he passed away the day after the last strip ran. That's just kind of how it goes. Let's see. I hope this doesn't seem morbid to anybody, but if that's what cartoonists like. Cartoonists like to draw until we can't draw anymore. So that's a sad story to some people, but it's very, you know, romantic to me. Die doing what you love. That's the best. Got this little kid whispering to this tree. That's fun. Pretty good inking journey here today. Inked almost 2 comic strips in 90 minutes. That's not bad. That's a, you know, this one has like a crazy tree on it. I'm sure I might not make it the full 90 minutes for this. Let's see. I got a few more minutes left in this stream. I was gonna go till I think about 10:30, and I'm gonna go handle some other things. But yeah, if you're digging this time frame, if you've already said, but if you didn't, if you dig the time spot, maybe we'll do more in the mornings, like a comics and coffee sort of thing. It really gets me going in the morning. It's a good time for me. Just want to make sure, you know, people enjoy it. Comics and coffee. Wes Martin, do you work from home, or what do you do for a living? Do you commute or anything like that? I was commuting 2 days of the week in my previous job. Before taking this job, I'd drive down up to Pittsburgh Tuesdays and Thursdays. I didn't mind the commute though. Even when a semi truck crushed me on the highway, let's listen to podcasts. Let my brain defrag a little bit. You just bought an ice cream company. Congratulations. That's Great. I love ice cream. What kind of ice cream? I'm going to buy some ice cream today for Valentine's Day, I think. I'm going to treat myself. Yeah, if you're watching and you're lurking over on TikTok, make sure you follow us. I see Austin just followed the host here, me, or VeeFriends. Kev Green popped in. I was going to say your name when you pop in, Kev. Oh, you got to stay and hang out. If I glance up at you, see that you've come in here. Say hello in the chat. This is the VeeFriends daily comic strip I'm drawing right now. Been thinking a lot more about the daily format. I've been doing the daily comic here. Gary says we're doing it for the next 50 years. So I'm okay doing that. So we're just getting started here. Just getting cooking. So you're watching the very beginning of all these things. If you're new to VeeFriends. My thoughts on AI doing animation, AI in general. I don't know. I'm not against AI, if that's the question. I'm not really against it. My thoughts as an artist, I know a lot of artists in my club, drawing club and stuff, are very nervous about AI, upset, mad. But I kind of feel like it's just another piece of technology that you can either use it or, it's not going to take over. I still think that there's something to such a long-winded answer, but I feel like people are worried about AI, but you got to realize from a creative standpoint, and I've created a lot of things. I've been in the creation game for a little while. There's something about hand drawing and hand writing that makes a difference. There's some kind of soul behind it. And I don't really feel like I've seen some good stuff from AI, but I can always tell. It just feels a little cold. I can't get on a live stream with AI and ask it anything or go hang out and have a beer with it. I don't know if any of that makes sense, what I just said. And, maybe one day you will be able to have beer with an AI chatbot, but, and if that's what you like to do, that's cool. But if you like to hang out with real humans, well then, here I am. But I'm not against the AI. I think it's just a tool, Interesting. I don't like the idea that it might be stealing from other artists. I don't like that. It's a very complicated, deep issue. I don't want to debate with other artists because they get people are really upset, irrationally upset. And all I can say to them is that spend some of that energy making more art instead of sitting around feeling junky about it. Because when you feel bad, you don't create well, and but it's a lot of people's livelihoods too, so I totally get all the aspects of AI, but you gotta lean into it, man. And I mean like lean into creation, not AI. I mean, okay, cool, AI could make this comic strip, but can AI live stream and talk to you and maybe do it live from a show? Nope. So that's what you got to do as a creator. You got to evolve, and it's work. It's hard work. I talk to artists that are like, I don't want to learn how to be on YouTube. Cool. Don't do that then. But just like if someone's like, automobiles, I'm not driving one of them. I got a horse and a bicycle. Cool, man. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, Wes. How many pages so far? Oh, they're not really pages. They're more like strips, but we got, quite a few. I'm not going to count. I'll let someone else count. Got a lot. Yeah. It's leaning into what you're best at, whether that's starting businesses, entrepreneurship, marketing. For me, it's drawing, and not necessarily drawing because I'm not the best artist in the world or anything, but cartooning and comic books and cartoon strips. It's what I'm most passionate about. So hopefully you can lean into whatever your passions are out there. That's the real message from Gary and from other gurus out there. All my YouTube friends will tell you the same thing. Anything that you're passionate about can be made into something that you can live a good, sustainable, creative life. You might not make millions and millions of dollars. That should be said. If that's your goal, then start maybe learning investing as well. But you can make a happy living doing what you love, as long as it's legal. And even if it's not legal sometimes, but crime doesn't pay, folks. That's my advice. Hey, Jonathan Ashbrook on YouTube says I'm killing it. Thank you. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to bring it back to life again. I'm going to kill it. Bring it back to life again. Yeah, Wes says, you heard it here, folks. Crime does not pay. That's your lesson for the day. Sweet. Wrapping up the stream here. That's what we call like a whisper balloon. Like you don't get to hear what he's telling the listening tree. We don't get to know. Like I undid a bunch of lines there accidentally. All right. Okay. Pretty happy with this one. I'll put some words in the ground for that character every time we do a new. Is there a criminal cat? We have a cynical cat. It's not a criminal, as far as I know. Cynical cat is right over here. This is Cynical cat. And Optimistic Otter. So we inked that one up today. Today's comic strip that's live are the Valentine's Day strips today. So share them around, Share them around. That's today's strip. Live. We do have a burglar, though. Yeah. We do have a criminal. But he's a fun-loving criminal. No. He only steals your heart. Burglar. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up this stream. I'm going to turn it around here real quick and say goodbye. If I can. Camera. All right. This is me. I'm going to head on out here for a little bit. Valentine's Day, so I got to pick up something. I failed at Valentine's Day last year. I'm not going to do it again this year. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you sharing the comics, please. And yeah, Join us again, probably 10 a.m. Same kind of scene here on all the channels, 10 a.m. on Friday. I'll see you soon. That's me ending it on TikTok. And